Some trips are really good and some trips seem to be full of problems. And this is one of those trips full of problems. First problem, I forgot the raw files. Everything is JPEG, no idea how that happened. And one thing actually went really good in this video. So join me. I doubted if I wanted to release this video or throw it away. But in the end, I'm just convinced that showing you the good and the bad is good for this channel. So welcome back to the channel. And I'm having a bit of a struggle at the moment. That when I left my house, there was this big, dense layer of fog that I couldn't even see more than 50 meters in front of my car. And then goes the little voice in your head that always pops up when you're a YouTuber. And you're thinking to yourself, well, I did that. I've been there recently and I've been there recently. I can't do that again. And so I decided to drive on to something that I rarely come. I think in 2.5 years I've been here one time. But the further I got, the less dense the fog got. So what am I left with here? It's a stunning area, pretty small. There is some fog. There are a lot of clouds. So I've got no idea what this is going to be, but I'll just see if we can find something interesting here. Just looks like there is some more fog coming at the moment, but that would be nice. Let's just stick around here and see what's going to happen. I'm going to switch to the 40-150 here. I think I see a shot, but I'm not quite sure about it. So I tried looking for a shot handheld, but in the end I found a reasonable composition. Just using a 12-second timer here. So let me show you the composition that I got. I don't know if it's enough, you know. It's a bit of a difficult one, but I'm going to darken the image a little bit so you can see it. But you can see I've got 2 trees right after each other. Just a bit of haze here around this tree, and here in the bottom there's actually some white colored grasses coming from both corners, leading your eye towards those trees. And I don't know if that is enough, you know, if those leading lines are enough to make this an interesting image. It might be just too little, but at least I'm happy I found something a bit atmospheric. It's just in that corner, or at least on that side, there seems to be a lot of fog. On this side, there's a lot less. So I'm trying to work with something here. So I walked a little bit further here and just looked the other direction, and do you know that feeling that sometimes a shot just comes to you or something? I don't know how to explain the feeling that I'm trying to explain here at the moment, but you know, there are these obvious shots, but there are also shots that somehow you're thinking to yourself, how did I see this? How did my eye catch this? Or even in this case that I'm thinking, why is this working, or is it even working? You know, maybe it isn't working, it's just in my head. But let me show you what I got here. So this is the composition that I got, and you can see we've got a small layer of these grasses here in the foreground. Then you have a little bit of the water leading to the back, then this bush in the right center as my main subject, then there's another bush and a nice tree in the background. And again, this can be way too little to be interesting, but somehow it caught my attention, you know. I don't even know how to explain it, but it just happens. And the funny thing is that last year I was here and I shot one of my all-time favorite images here on the side of this little pond here of two ducks in amazing fog. So I'll show this image here. That was something that I was hoping for today, but looking at the overcast and the not so much fog left at the moment, I'm actually considering of driving to another area, but getting back closer to my house just to enjoy that fog. But I don't know. There's something to it, you know. These conditions like this, just these absolute grim conditions. So just trying to make the best of it, and I think this is a rather okay shot. I just noticed one little problem when I was doing the photo fair, that you can see the video up here where I've been there. I've put my camera gear in a box to showcase it for people, but I detached my tripod collar of my lens. Totally forgot to put it back on. So a little bit of a problem, but I don't know. Let's see. Gonna take this image. Let me know what you think of it. Is it worth it or not? So being a photographer in summertime here in the Netherlands, and today it's June 18th, so we're 3 days away from the longest day of the year. And that basically means that I have to get out of my bed at about 3:45, 3:30 a.m. to make it for a sunrise shoot. So you have to have commitment to go out. So that's a bit of a problem, and especially when you're having a YouTube channel and you don't want to show the same areas all the time, you know. I'm just trying to explore the areas a bit closer to my house during these summer months, because if I want to drive somewhere a bit further away, it would mean I have to get up at 2 a.m. at night. You know, there are limits to what a human being can do, you know, and I think that there is my limit. And this is about half an hour from my house, and it's a shame that that big thick layer of fog that I was hoping for isn't here. But there's one other problem that comes with summertime photography, and it's a big problem for me over the past weeks. Well, actually it's a really small problem, but I may have found a solution for it. Let me show you my new toy. And it's actually down here. So I detached this thing from the tripod so I can show you what it actually is. So this little device is made by Flextaile. And if you don't know who Flextaile are, they are an outdoor brand. They make all kinds of innovative equipment, especially for outdoor people. Something like a tiny air pump, which you can use to pump up your tires, your airbed, anything like it. It's an amazing small pump, but all kinds of other stuff. So there's a link in the description. If you don't know them, just look on the website. And this little device that I have here in my hand is a bug repeller, and yeah, it's actually amazing. And I just wanted to test this thing. If it does what they say, then this is the solution to my biggest problem. And I have to say, when I walked into this area, I was immediately attacked by all kinds of mosquitoes. So I turned this thing on. It takes a couple of minutes to warm up. There's a little laser in here that heats up these pink pads here inside, and then the smell comes out through those openings here on the side. And the mosquitoes just don't like it. And since I've turned it on, not a single mosquito has come on me. You know, amazing. And I can see them. I can see them fly away here, fly a couple of meters away. So right now there are 3 modes in it. So you can push this button here on the side. If I turn it off here at the moment. The first one, you have to push it twice, is green, orange and red. And what actually happens is that those different programs, they vary the distance that the mosquitoes keep away. So I think this is about 10 meters, but if you put 2 pads in, like I did, on the third program, the battery runs dead faster. So that's something to remember, but still I think it's about 4 to 6 hours, if I'm not mistaken, that you can use this thing. And in the first mode, which is a bit smaller of a bubble that you can walk in, I think it's a little bit further, maybe 20 meters or something like that. So if I'm mistaking the numbers, I'll put them down here. But there's also a light in it. So let me show you. So you can use it as a flashlight. A couple of different programs there also. And this thing weighs 150 and a bit grams. So it's very light and it's magnetic, but because my tripod is carbon, I can't put it on my tripod. But it gets a little bit warm, but it's not too warm. So I can attach it to my backpack, and when I'm walking around and while I'm standing here, I can just attach it to the bottom of the tripod. So a magnificent device that if this thing keeps working like I've tested it until now, this is, I might even say, a lifesaver. You know, 2 weeks ago I got back home and man, I think I got maybe 30 to 40 stings by mosquitoes, and I got these huge I don't know how you say it, but you know what I mean, sting places on my arms, on my head. It's a real frustration in the summertime. So I am very happy with this thing, and this is sponsored. I got this from Flextaile to try out. So if you're interested in this, there is a link in the description which you can use, and you get a 15% discount on everything on the website, or you can use the offer code Guido15 for that 15% discount. So I highly recommend this for anyone that goes outdoor. It's an amazing feeling. But there's one thing that I want to notice, which feels a bit strange. You get the feeling that you're walking in a bubble. You know, sometimes I just leave the camera here and walk off for a minute, and I just have the feeling that those mosquitoes are waiting there. You know, they are waiting there just outside that bubble, and the minute I step out, they attack you full force. So it's a bit of a game between mosquitoes and me, but this thing has got me on the winning side. So the whole reason why I went up to this hill is actually because on the edge of this water, it's actually the left tree of the one in the last shot that you've seen. But there's a beautiful reflection on that tree, but everything down there is one giant swamp. So I couldn't get to the water's edge there, so I was hoping by getting up here I could shoot down and then still get that reflection. But it's just not gonna work. It's just not gonna work. And I'm actually standing here and thinking to myself, one of the biggest, how do you say it? One of the biggest advantages that you can have as a landscape photographer is the ability to adapt yourself to the right conditions, be in the right spot at the right time. And I just have the feeling that this isn't the right spot at the right time. So there's an area quite close by here, which might be nice. So I think I'm going to switch to a plan B, because this fog is going to stay around for a while, I think. But I need like a forest, a dense forest. And hopefully I can get there on time and get some nice images. So I'm going to wrap up my stuff, get in the car and go to plan B. So there are a couple of things that I want to mention about this Flextail Tiny Repeller that I didn't mention earlier. First of all, it's waterproof and shockproof. So you can drop this thing in the water, you can let it fall on the ground. It's no problem for this little device. You can charge it, so it's not that you have to replace the batteries all the time. And one of the most important things that I want to mention is, of course, it's a little bit of a burning process. So this top side here gets warm, but as you can see, it's now on for about 45 minutes. It doesn't get that hot, so you don't have to be afraid. I just hang it on my backpack here while walking around, and you don't have to be afraid for this thing burning your backpack or anything. It gets warm, but it's not heat, so don't be afraid for that. And at least it's better than those mosquito bites. Until now, I've been here for about an hour, 0 bites, and that is a new record this summer. So welcome to plan B, but most of the fog has turned into rain, so I don't know if this is going to be worth the effort. So I've been wandering through the forest for a while now, and eventually found this shot, which I'm not 100% sure of. You know, the fog is clearing, it's raining, I don't know, but this rain gives a bit of a mood to this particular image. So what I found here is this stream of water. So let me try to show you what I mean. You see, my shot is a little bit wider on the underside here. This is a 16:9 and I'm shooting it at 4:3. So you've got this leading line of this water here going in, zigzagging through the back, and I have another tree here on the right side which is cut off in this footage. But I was drawn by this as a sort of a main subject, and then this S-curved road leading into the back. So there's a lot going on in this image actually, and I don't know if that is a good thing. You know, sometimes I'm thinking to myself, it's alright to have a lot going on in an image, but in this case, I'm not quite sure. So I'm gonna take this shot and I'm gonna let you decide whether or not it's interesting enough. So this is the shot. Actually, the worst thing ever happened. I have these magnetic filters and I wanted to use a polarizer, and I thought it was attached correctly, and then it just fell off, hit the ground. So I have no idea what went wrong here. Have to figure that out, but luckily I have a spare, but this one is way smaller than the one that I had, so I only have one for my smallest lens now. So I walked a couple of meters further and then I got a really nice shot, at least I think so. A little bit of fog rolled down this hill again. There's still some on top. I don't know if you can see it up there, but just a big patch just rolled down. And you can see behind me that there's just one gnarly tree there. It's broken. One half is down the slope here, one half is standing up. And then you have this tree on the right, this one, bending into the frame with this path leading into the back, those two trees. And the nice thing is that there is an opening here on top. And what happened is that this light just hit that little bit of fog that rolled down this hill, creating a bit of atmosphere. So I think that was lacking in the first shot, that atmosphere. So I hope that I've caught it here in this image. Right now the fog is already past, so I can't see it anymore, but I did the same thing as I did on the first shot with the polarizer, one half, then turning it around, polarizing the other half, and then hopefully I can blend those two shots together into one shot. So this is the second one. So this is the end of today's video. I hope you liked this trip. And not the best conditions. It was a little bit, yeah, maybe I should have gone here immediately the first time when there was enough fog left. But yeah, choices. It's all about choices as a landscape photographer. Sometimes you win and sometimes you lose. Well, at least today I won something. I won my mosquito problem solving mechanism. So if you're interested in this Flextail Tiny Repeller, look in the description underneath this video. There's a link to their site. If you use the link, you get a 15% discount, or use the offer code GIDO15 for a 15% discount on their entire assortment on their website. So I'm convinced, absolutely a great product, and I wish I had this years earlier. So I'm gonna find a way to somehow attach this to my tripod. I think I'll make a little bit of an eye here. There's a screw, an open screw here that I can put something in. So I think I'll put this in and I can just take it anywhere I want. So I hope you enjoyed the video. If you did, then yeah, please push the thumbs up button, and there is a subscribe button underneath this video. If you push that and select all on the notification bell, you will get a message when I release my next video. Yeah, that's it. So yeah, I'm going back home, see if I can somehow find a new polarizer. So thanks for watching. See you next time. Bye bye.